on this computer. Wonderful. So today, gosh, we have William over from ARK Crystals with us, and Haley, friend Haley's here with me as well. We've just been following your science, your technology, William, for quite a while now, and it's been fun to see where you guys have come from. But the thing that really fascinates us about ARK Crystals is this tomato experiment that you're going to, I'm going to send the screen share over to you, where you have tomatoes that are beyond 9 months old, basically, at this point, and they still look like something that you'd eat out of the fridge. So glad to have you with us today, brother.
I'm happy to be joining you.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm going to hand this over to you, William, for the, let me see more, give you a screen share here. I'm going to make you the host, and then go ahead and just go with that. You should be able to do a recording right now, screen share of your experiment.
Okay. Let me get this share screen going.
Yes. So you guys are down in San Clemente, California.
Yeah, and we're enjoying some very beautiful weather here. Let me see.
How technical you are with all your stuff here. So much information.
So you should be seeing the title for this experiment, electromagnetically modulated precision geometry quartz. So this is resonance crystal technology. And the primary unit of this technology is a quartz resonator. This is a quartz crystal that is engineered at a specific geometric ratio to have a intrinsic resonance. And as we were speaking earlier, this is set to resonate at about a F sharp note.
Okay.
So, you know, it literally vibrates the crystal lattice at a specific intrinsic frequency. And we ring those with this electromagnetohydrodynamic device, the harmonic flux resonator. It's a harmonic resonance electromagnetic modulation device, as pictured here. And we just have a whole lot of testing that we've done. This is showing increases in seed germination rates with this crystal technology. So the ARK crystal generates an electromagnetic field that is very compatible with the biological system. It has very beneficial effects for the biological system, in particular through its interaction with water. Water is a partial dipole molecule. So in the presence of a electromagnetic field, it will have an influence on the intermolecular geometry of water at the molecular level, changing some of its physicochemical properties, energizing the bonds of the water. And we see these just phenomenal effects in the biological system, which we believe is coming especially through effects, beneficial effects on the water. So let me get some images of our tomato.
Would you still eat these tomatoes today, William?
Well, so, you know, they're almost at 9 months right now. So, you know, I might be a little bit of a picky eater. so you know, so actually here's a picture of our tomatoes that have been, they were grown with the ARK crystals. Let me see if I can enlarge this so that
Did you say they're grown with the ARK crystals?
Yeah, well, actually, the way that we grew these plants was with something called our tetrahelix unit. And this is a technology we have under development where we have the quartz resonators in this, it's called a tetrahelix.
Okay.
What they form naturally this geometry of a tetrahelix, which actually follows the same proportional ratio as DNA when it comes to uh, uh, like the number of turns per number of units, subunits of the polymer. So this, we can actually run the water through it and distribute it to the plants. And so we grew these tomatoes with that. And so for one thing, let me go back to our first harvest. Um, so you know, the tomatoes, they turn red oftentimes, that they ripen after they've been plucked. So actually, uh, let me see. This is the our crystal test group grew the tomatoes so fast that our control group uh, actually lagged behind on making tomatoes by about a month. But when they finally did make tomatoes, you know, they're quite a bit smaller than what we got from our test group. Let me see. I actually have the differences in the weight.
Oh, yeah, they're more volume to them, huh?
Yeah. So here's our tetrahelix grown
290.
group. Let me see if I can find one with our control. Here's a control.
Whoa.
The tomatoes were quite a bit less appetizing. Now, so this is at 190 days after they've been harvested. Our control group has long since dried up and desiccated, but our group that's been kept with this is a 8 matrix of the ARK crystals. You know, so they're modular units, so they can be assembled into larger structural geometries, and kept with that. The shelf life of these tomatoes was just remarkable.
Yeah, that's very impressive. Over 6 months.
Well, but that picture was 3 months ago. You know, so at the 9-month mark, you know, they're hanging in there, but they don't look. You know, there was one tomato in there that actually, if it was put in front of me, I'd probably eat it.
Yeah.
If they didn't tell me it was, you know, 6 months old, you know, but it's just really remarkable because our control group, those tomatoes didn't last on the shelf for more than 3 weeks. I mean, but by the 3-week mark, they were molded. We have virtually no mold growth on the
Still.
tomatoes with the ARK crystals. You know,
Yeah.
it's really.
And you definitely got mold growth, I imagine, on the other ones for sure.
Oh yeah. Within 3 weeks,
Okay.
you know, they were black, moldy, and our group with the ARK crystal units, no mold, no discolorations. You know, they were retaining the water. And one of the things, so, you know, getting into the science of what's going on. So tomatoes, I don't know how familiar folks are with the shelf life on tomatoes, but one of the things is you don't put tomatoes, for instance, in the fridge. They actually keep better at room temperature. One of the reasons for that is that the tomato, even after you pluck it from the plant, it still has live cells in it, living cells. And so one of the things that we believe is occurring to have this just remarkable shelf life, longevity, is that those cells are able to better retain the water. It's i.e. they're better hydrated, and so the fruit appears to say it does. It stays fresher longer, and it retains a better appearance. Whereas the control quickly loses the water, starts to dry out. The mold comes in, the bacteria comes in, and within 3 weeks, it's done.
Yeah.
But what we believe is occurring is better hydration. The cells are better able to keep the water, and the same thing that's occurring in those tomatoes, we believe occurs in human cells as well.
So
You know,
that's a few questions that people had from our first interview together, William,
uh,
about like, how is this different? How would it affect the human body, for anti-aging? We want to stay looking good as we can for as long as we can. That's a good goal.
Best for getting wrinkles.
Yeah, we don't want no wrinkles. We don't want no mold on us.
yeah. Well, I had a visiting scientist who actually worked quite a bit with anti-aging pharmaceutical applications. When I showed her these tomatoes, she was instantly like, "You guys should like charge like face creams with these art crystals," because the tomatoes, no wrinkles on them. They were, this was probably at like the 4-month mark, but so certainly hydration is huge for cellular longevity, and especially maintaining a youthful appearance, because one of the factors on wrinkles, that those signs of aging on the skin, is that you have degradation of the collagen, that is the connective tissue matrix under the skin. uh, Collagen holds a tremendous amount of water, and that's one of the things that when you have healthy amounts of collagen, large amounts of collagen, at healthy levels, the skin looks visibly much younger. So the ARK crystal's effects on hydration will help to maintain that healthy hydration levels, and quite possibly help to maintain that youthful appearance that comes with better hydration.
So do you see yourself getting into charging the creams and stuff in the future? I mean,
Oh yeah. Well, one of the things is that the ARC units are, you buy them as it looks like jewelry, but this is actually a functional arrangement so that it can be worn close to the body, and so that you can get maximal benefits from owning one. You can wear it so that it's constantly charging up the intercellular water, bestowing those benefits. But one of the things is that these are modular, so that you can take your crystal out of the pendant, because say you're going to sleep, you don't want to sleep with it. Some people actually do though. But you can take your crystal unit out, and you can place it under a bottle of water to modulate the water to have, when you wake up, you can drink some nice structured energized water, or you could put it on next to a face cream, so that people could use it to we call it potentiate or activate just about any substance that they wanted to, be it drinking water, lotions, even wine, cooking oils. There's a lot of areas where this will improve the qualities of many different kinds of substances.
Oh, cool. That's amazing. Well, gosh, I'm just really blown away by your science. So is Haley.
Yeah, I'm good.
You know, and we're following what you're doing closely, and just appreciate the friendship, brother. And you know, following what you're doing, and hopefully we can do some great things. I'm going to order my ARK crystal, I think, today, to just start experiencing this, because I've heard such great things. I met you guys through one of my friends in our frequency company that that's a big fan, and you know, she swears by your ARK crystal. So
Yeah, well, and you know, so I've been showing pictures of tomatoes and stuff, but we've done double-blind, placebo-controlled human clinical trials with these things.
yeah,
You know, so we've done testing with human participants on sports performance, you know, strength, balance, flexibility, endurance, direct measurements of cellular hydration levels, metabolic efficiency. You know, we've done a number of different human clinical trials, and we see significant results in these tests that we've done with, you know, in a controlled clinical setting. So, you know, when you get this and you're wearing it, I'm sure, you know, you'll feel more energetic, you know, more coherent in your daily activities. You know, those are just some of the effects that I get
right.
from wearing it. And, you know, we've got tests that have measured these improvements, you know, so it's not a trivial effect. That's for sure.
Is there any upcoming tests that you can disclose that you're passionate about, as far as like human clinical trials and what frequency can do?
Yeah, you know, we'd have some results from these tests right now, but everything's been kind of sidetracked by this lockdown, you know, pandemic situation. You know, it's especially difficult to get participants to come together and do the test, right? Because it's just not the right kind of circumstances for that. But we do have trials that were initiated prior to this whole situation that are just kind of on pause. But, you know, I'm excited to reinitiate those as soon as these, you know, it's safe to do so. So we've got a study, you know, we're partnering with independent labs. So we've got one lab that does thermographic studies, particularly on tumor progression, you know, because tumors, they grow a large amount of new capillaries and veins so that they can draw in a lot of nutrients. And so they're actually little hot spots in the body, and you can see them with thermographic imaging.
Right.
So we've partnered with them to look at what are the effects with, you know, their standard course of treatment and wearing an ARK crystal. Do they see any improvement in the group that is wearing the ARK crystal and following the standard treatment, which, you know, the standard treatment that they have significantly reduces tumor growth, but, you know, they want to see, is it even quicker with the ARK crystal? And also with this thermographic studies, we can look at inflammation in the body. So, you know, we've done testing on what's called delayed onset soreness, delayed onset muscle soreness, DOMS, following exercise. And, you know, our preliminary data before the lockdown was showing that people have, you know, the same DOMS response, which is a beneficial response. It's what stimulates muscle growth, but the length of time of the muscle soreness was reduced wearing the ARK crystal. So, you know, the inflammatory response was modulated. You know, it was there, but you actually want that because it's the cell signaling that tells the body's tissues to grow and get stronger. But it didn't last. It was shorter. So, you know, you could get in more exercise in a shorter period of time without overdoing it. And also, inflammatory responses with like, arthritis. We can look at that with these thermographic studies. And we have a collaboration, a partnership going with a university in Athens, actually, a university over there in Greece. And they're going to be doing direct cellular studies with us. So we're going to be looking at um, uh, molecular markers of biorejuvenation in stem cells. So, these are things like how active is the telomerase? Telomerase is an enzyme that maintains telomere links in stem cells. And, that's a major thing for healthy natural rejuvenation processes because um, if you get shortening of the telomeres, that correlates with cellular senescence or premature aging of the cells. But various factors like that. So
Andrews by chance on the telomere project, Dr. Bill Andrews, William Andrews.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Bill Andrews. Bill Andrews. Do you know him?
I don't think I do.
Actually, with him for sure on that. He's very big about telomeres and.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's interesting. Well, it sounds like you got a lot of really good studies underway, brother.
Yeah. That's just with the results that we've seen with these, we're just really enthusiastic about fully characterizing the effects. What exactly, what all are they doing? That is resulting in these improvements in several markers of vitality in the biological system. We really want to, not just be able to say, we've seen, these help plants grow faster and they produce more fruit and the fruit's better. But, what exactly is occurring to affect this beneficial biological response?
It'll be interesting with growth, refrigeration, anti-aging, a lot of stuff going on and everything. So, well, let's touch base again here soon for sure. And really appreciate your time today.
It's lovely to meet you.
Yeah, well, I'm really glad to get to sit down and talk with y'all.
Awesome. Well, we'll share this knowledge with others, who are interested in fighting the aging process. Yeah, I'm worrying today. So thank you, William.
Thank you.
Have a good day, bro. Okay.
You too.
All right. Take care, man.
Thank you. Bye.